Hello and welcome back to Star Wars: A Living Set. Will, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
We had an amazing day today. We're actually going to talk a little about some of that during this video, but we'll also do probably another video later this week. We actually had the opportunity to go to a Comic-Con.
Like a little mini
Comic-Con and meet some of the people and actually had some cards even signed.
And some prints as well.
Some prints as well, exactly right. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But first off, let's jump right into our cards for this episode. So we got 4 new cards coming at you again. Again, shout out to Chris Penix, doing a great job, still doing all 4 of these cards, always available on Topps.com. 2 cards every single week, Star Wars: The Living Set. Today, first card for us is card number 63, Poe Dameron.
63 is Poe Dameron.
Pretty cool, right? This one's from Force Awakens. We're going to jump into the stats first. They made 1,301. 44 of them have been graded so far, 36 PSA 10s and 8 PSA 9s. All right, so the actor is Oscar Isaac, not really well known before this, which is kind of what they were going for from all those characters.
A lot of characters were like that. Like we talked about with Rey, how she was like, Daisy Ridley was very not known. She'd been like 1 or 2 things, but like after this, then that was like their very big break.
Boom, she's famous. Yep, absolutely. So when you think about Poe, his character, some interesting information that was out there. So apparently Poe's character was supposed to die really early in this movie.
Which I would have been very sad about.
We all have been very, very sad about that. But J.J. Abrams said, no, we're going to keep him alive. He was also the first character that we saw in the 88-second trailer for Force Awakens. Yeah. I believe it was actually the scene where he's piloting the X-Wing.
Yeah, I think it is.
Which is pretty cool, right? He was actually named after JJ's assistant, Morgan Dameron, which that's kind of cool. And one of the things I love the most about his character is just very funny, right? So whether he's talking to BB-8, whether he's talking to Rey, whether he's talking to soldiers, he's funny. Even at the beginning when he's talking to... like when he's getting tortured at the beginning, like at the opening scene, he's still funny then.
I think what he does is Kylo goes comfortable, Poe goes, not really.
Yeah. Do you talk? Do I talk? Like
I don't know which one.
It's
just
hard
to tell with the mask.
It's very funny stuff.
He has that very much like rebel, like kind of like old Han.
Yeah, good call.
I as soon as I heard, I was like, is this Han or is it a new character? He's almost like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like somehow related to Han or something.
Yeah, definitely cool, right?
Yeah.
Some of the other cool things was he was actually originally supposed to go to Canto Bight in the second movie, but the with Finn, but the dialogue just wasn't working. So that's how they introduced the character Rose, which is pretty cool. And then he was also in Rise of the Resistance, the ride at Disney World, which is, by the way, awesome.
Great ride! Oh my god, it was.
We had a great time there. And then finally, interesting thing about Oscar Isaac, the actor, he's actually from Guatemala. And so he really wanted to make sure his character was from Yavin 4, which, again, back from the old original trilogy, we hear about Yavin 4, because that was originally filmed in Guatemala.
Which I think is very cool.
So kind of a cool job by Oscar Isaac to throw back there. So pretty awesome. Cool. Anything else on Poe Dameron?
Love the character.
Great character. We see him a lot. Very funny. Definitely a great character. One of my favorites out of the new trilogy, we'll call it. All right. We're going to go to you next. Card number 64. Mother Talzin from the Clone Wars. Tell me about Mother Talzin.
Mother Talzin is so cool. She has so many great parts, so many great lines, so much great backstory. She is just amazing. First, we go into stats, though. So they made 1,203. 33 have been graded, 11 9s and 22 10s. The voice, and this is from the Clone Wars, is Barbara Dale Goodson.
Yep. And speaking of Barbara Dale Goodson, what did we do today?
Today, we actually got to meet the voice actor of Mother Talzin.
Yep, we did, which is awesome. We're going to do another video talking about the 4 people that we met today, but we're going to kind of just do one of these things and check out where she signed that print right there, which is pretty awesome.
Look at that.
We'll dive into that more off our next video. But again, all right, tell me more about Mother Talzin.
Okay, so, what does that say? So, Barbara Dale Goodson was also in Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock, which I know is before your time, was a great show.
No idea what that is.
It was actually a spin-off of actually the Muppets, so Jim Henson did it, but she was actually on the cartoon version. But still, anyone associated with Fraggle Rock, that's awesome. Yeah. All right?
She's also in 408 different shows, movies, and games, like playing characters, voicing characters, doing more voicing, things like that.
And the only reason why we knew it was her at this Comic-Con today was because we had actually done this research. Because when they showed the little picture of like what other things are in, Mother Talzin wasn't even listed.
And it was funny because you told me that you were researching the cards for this week, and then after you were looking at Comic-Con, you were like, I feel like I recognize that name.
Yep.
So it was a complete coincidence.
Which was awesome.
If we hadn't done this episode this week, we would have had no idea that she was going to be there.
All right.
She is originally a Dathomir female. She is the clan mother of the Night Sisters, and also she is the mother of Savage, Oppress, and Darth Maul.
Which is pretty cool, or as we call Savage.
Savage.
That's fine.
And then she's also in Ahsoka that recently cleared up, but there is going to be a season 2.
Yeah. So again, obviously we're talking about the Clone Wars version.
Yeah.
So sometime in the future, we might see another card of her from Ahsoka.
I mean, I feel like we're gonna have to if they have to do every single character. We're gonna.
They don't have to, but you never know. All right. But before I watched Clone Wars, I had no idea who this person was, and I'm glad I have watched Clone Wars. Because otherwise, if I was trying to watch Ahsoka now, I'd be like, "Who is this lady? I have no idea what her deal is."
Yeah.
But she's an awesome character. Good. Anything else on Mother Talzin this week?
Super cool.
All right. Card number 65, Watto. Now, again, Watto, a very controversial character. Not really. People kind of loved him or hate him, but let's go with card number 65, Watto. They made 1,259. 31 have been graded by PSA 10, 18 PSA, or 31 total graded, 18 PSA 10s, 13 PSA 9s. So this character, of course, we first see in Phantom Menace, makes a reappearance later. Yep. When Anakin comes back for a visit, kind of that's more of a worn down Watto at this point. He's not as he's definitely a little older, lost a lot of money,
not doing very good,
not doing really well. Yeah. But in this part, he's on the Phantom Menace, so he's actually voiced by Andy Secombe, is what I found about this one. He was completely computer generated, right? So which is pretty interesting. Of course, he's a Toydarian or Tydarian, whichever it is. I believe he also appears on Clone Wars, or some of his species do.
Yes, the Toydarians are a lot in Clone Wars. I don't know if Watto is specifically.
Yeah.
He's probably mentioned a few times, but I don't know if he's...
We don't know if he's a famous Toydarian or not.
Well, yeah.
Got it.
He's just a random Toydarian. Just like, I mean, Greedo is famous, but I'm trying to think of a good example. I don't know, but he's not a famous Toydarian. He's just a Toydarian that we know by name.
Fair enough. So when they created him, they kind of had this hook trunk, these hummingbird wings. They kind of had these different things for him, which was really interesting. Definitely an interesting character. Obviously ties in a lot around in Phantom Menace about how he's got the parts for the ship, but then they have no money. But then he wins, or he loses in the bet. Definitely an interesting character. I'm actually kind of excited that they brought him back later when Anakin goes back. I thought that was kind of a cool throwback to make sure he was still there. I did like
that, how we saw him and he was all he had a beard and a hat, and he was not doing very good. And he was like, Annie, little Annie. Well, that part was cool.
That might be the best Watto impression I've ever heard in my life, by the way. Nice job on that one. So, again, card number 65 this week, Watto. And we are going to turn over to Will for card number 66, which, I mean, I don't know. We could do hours of material on this guy.
We could do literal, hours. We could do a 24-hour episode on this guy.
Let's not do that. But card number 66, Darth Sidious. And this one is actually from Revenge of the Sith, is what this one's from. So tell us about this one.
This part is actually very funny. So, Darth Sidious, 66.
Ooh, card number 66.
Those have a connection, and it's from Revenge of the Sith.
Ooh.
Right after he executed Order 66.
I wonder if Topps chose that, if Chris Penix chose that, or who chose that. Nice job.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out on that one. That's a great call.
As soon as we were looking through, I was just kind of scanning the list, and I was like, hey, 66 is Darth Sidious.
Pretty cool.
Strange.
All right.
So yeah. So they made 1,422, 40 have been graded, 9 PSA 9s and 30 PSA 10s. The actor is Ian McDiarmid.
I'm gonna go with Diarmid, I think.
Diarmid?
I'm not sure, but it's close enough. Yes. Yep.
He was in CNN. He was named the 4th in the top 10 British villains, which I think is funny.
Which is pretty interesting. Obviously, he's British.
Yeah.
But I don't know what more. Who's higher on the British ranking? I mean, the guy controlled the entire galaxy.
Yeah.
He could kill millions of people at the snap of his fingers, but apparently he's number 4.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah, that part doesn't. Really
but he's British, so I get it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Anyway, he was first seen in Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Ian played him in the first 3 prequels, yeah.
The first 3 prequels.
The first 3 prequels. and was also then the Chancellor and the Emperor in all of those.
Yeah, so he kind of did coup characters. He was like good guy, bad guy.
Good guy, bad guy.
It's like good cop, bad cop in the Lego movie, right?
Exactly.
He was Chancellor Palpatine, but then he was also the Emperor at times, or at that time would have been Darth Sidious at the time.
I mean, he was also Senator Palpatine, and then Chancellor Palpatine.
Yep, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did a little bit of everything, didn't he? That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
He did it all.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, and then in the 2004 re-release, Ian McDiarmid.
Yep.
Is in the updated scene.
Yeah. So the original version of The Empire Strikes Back, we see the Emperor as kind of as in this like hologram, like projection thing. His hood is really far down, and it was actually at the time, which I didn't know this, was actually played by a woman named Marjorie Eaton, and the voice at that time was Clive Revel. So the voice, like the hood is pretty far down. You don't really see him very much.
Yeah.
But then when they re-released it in 2004, the hood is a little further back, and then you can actually see it was actually Ian who did that at that one. Pretty interesting how they kind of reshot that, we'll call it. Yeah. And of course he's been in a bunch of other stuff and done a lot of voices, but he's been Palpatine or Sidious in pretty much all the live action stuff, which has been great.
Sidious also makes appearances. He also makes appearances in Obi-Wan, The Bad Batch, Angry Birds,
Star Wars 2,
and Join the Pork Side.
Yeah, so apparently he voices Darth Sidious in the Angry Birds Star Wars 2 version, which of course, as we all know, was labeled Join the Pork Side.
Because we all knew that.
We all knew that, of course, yeah.
He was born Sheev Palpatine, which I think is actually kind of funny because Sheev, Shmi.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
No relation, but that's okay.
Secretly trained by Darth Plagueis, which we hear a lot about during that one part when he and Anakin are
in this movie.
Chilling.
Yep.
And there's like all the cool bubble things.
Yeah, it's like a Cirque du Soleil show, but on Coruscant. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then he died again on Exegol from Rey.
Yeah, so apparently they say that Rey channeled all of the former Jedi to then kill him that way. Who knows if he's dead or not?
I mean, he fell down a reactor thing and then got blown to shreds, but you know he came back. So like, you never know. You
never know. And pretty cool story, obviously around he's dead, but then he's back. He creates a whole nother. He's got these clones. I think in when he says I think the Rise of Skywalker, he says, I've been all of them. And
then it's like changing the voices from like Vader to like Snoke.
Yeah.
And then back to Palpatine. That part was
which was cool.
I like that part.
Which was definitely cool. So again, we could spend days on this character. Obviously, the entire evil part of all of the Star Wars universe revolves around whether you call him Darth Sidious, whether you call him Sheev Palpatine, whether you call him the Emperor.
Whether you call him wrinkly old guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's also pretty funny in the Lego shows.
He is, yeah.
He's funny in those.
And like the random like Lego shows are like for kids.
Yeah.
He just has so much like more fun and
he's the fun emperor of that.
He's the fun emperor.
Yeah.
And like they still have because I mean obviously it's a kid show, they can't have him be like all mean. But I think that's just funny how they like changed it. Like in I forget what show it is, but one it's like Empire Day and then he's opening all the presents.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then he's like, really? And he keeps getting the same mug over and over and it was like, what was there a sale or something like that?
Yeah, he's definitely funny there.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Kind of that character at that point. So all right, anything else on Darth Sidious?
Not really.
All right, well again, awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. 4 more cards knocked out of your way. We're going to do another video this week, kind of off topic, around talking about the 4 people that we got to meet today at the Comic-Con that we went to, which was awesome. Very cool. I'm really excited about that. Again, preview, looking behind us, Mother Talzin. Just one of the ones that we met, and you might even pick up on another one that's behind us that's already signed. Otherwise, we will talk to you guys soon. Again, shout out to Chris Penix for doing all 4 of these cards. Great job. Also, these cards are always available at Topps.com. They have 2 new cards every single week.
Yep.
All right, really quickly, your favorite art of this week. What is your favorite card?
Art?
Yeah. I'm going to go Mother Talzin because I just love the character now. Meeting her today was great, but I'm going to go Mother Talzin as my favorite art of the week. How about you?
I'm either going to say Poe.
Okay.
Because just like the way like his face looks with like the feel scars and everything, that part looks really good.
Yeah.
Or Palpatine, just because it's Palpatine, and Chris Penix did a really good job of encapsulating that like evil, but also like dead, but not dead, but like look.
Hot
It's really
take.
good.
Hot take right there. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Leave any comments if you have anything for us. That'd be great. Otherwise, we'll see you guys soon.